Prior Lake was a landlocked basin. It didn't outlet anywhere. The water just poured into it, came up and went down, came up, went down. This is actually what formed the Watershed District. There was an outlet channel constructed on Prior Lake. So Prior Lake now, when it gets above a certain level, discharges to the Minnesota River.
The history of the district is such that we were largely driven by flooding and flood protection. The structure can remove roughly 1 inch of water off the entire lake on a daily basis. But if there's that much coming in or more, then the water level is increasing.
I was brought on here at the Watershed District to help look at the potential for retrofitting and different stormwater best management practices that we like to see installed into the landscape. Here there are 2 stormwater catch basins here. The water then normally just goes straight to the lake via a pipe. We thought it was a terrific spot to put a curb cut rain garden in. It takes water from the gutter line, brings it offline into a rain garden here and here before it gets to these catch basins. So we can reduce flooding potential if we get enough of these in. So these will be getting put in within the next couple of months. And then we provided funding for it, and then they provide the maintenance over the years. So it's been a pretty well-received program, not only here, but throughout the whole metro area.
There's over 100,000 gallons of water that leaves a residential lot every year, and they can intercept some of that.
Before, this water just rushed down, I had a plate and just flooded in here. Now I've diverted the water right here, and it just had to cut the pipe off and then put this trough in so it goes into a rain barrel. I drain the water through my hoses where I don't have to sprinkle my flowers. And the garden hose goes around, takes care of it. I can break it there, it takes care of that plant. There's a shrub on the other side, and then it goes down to my shrubbery at the corner of the house. And it works good.
What was your experience like building the rain garden?
I did it pretty much all by
He got a grant to put in a rain garden on the front of his property.
When they built a house, we had heavy equipment and tractors here, and heavily compacted it. Before we did this work, and everything being compacted, it would just run through the grass into the street. It would be wearing a trench through the grass over 20 years.
Yeah, we call it green concrete for a good reason.
Yeah, our grass was just eroding away. After we completed the rain garden, like 1.5 inches in the matter of 45 minutes. This was a major washout. But as the rain was pouring into here, it eventually you could see it start to fill up.
Start to pond.
And then would go over the excess edge. The idea of having a rain garden with native flowers, which is going to be heat tolerant, is new to us, and we're excited to see how that will go.
A friend of mine had some erosion problems and worked with the Watershed District. We were actually having water leak into our basement.
All the water obviously coming off our house would go in through the gutters and into a 3-inch drain tile pipe, and it couldn't handle the volume. And a lot of that down there would just get wiped out. Every rain we would have, the boulders would be tipping. It's pretty common for a lot of the neighbors too. At the Watershed District, they had an option where you can buy
The rain barrels.
the rain barrels. Thought, well, maybe that'll do the trick, you know. So I said, let's see how much water comes down this one gutter right here. Went down there with my big Rubbermaid garbage can, and within like 15 seconds, that whole big garbage can was full of water. It was so heavy I couldn't move it. Then our next thought was, well, how about a rain garden? We'll put some flowers and stuff in there, and that wasn't going to handle the volume either. We needed something a lot bigger than that.
And we didn't want it going into the lake as well. So they drew up all the plans. They met with us. He had listed out how much sand, how much tubing, what equipment that we should go rent. Complete
Very
the project.
thorough. So even a lay person such as myself, I just followed the steps they laid out.
If you spent $2,400 on materials, etc., they would match up to $1,200.
So we had to go from a 3-inch drain tile to a 6-inch. So from all the gutters of the home, they all go into a 6-inch drain tile and then come wrapping around the house down towards the lake. and into our huge pit here. Now it's all overgrown with nice grass, 25, 30 feet wide, 15, 20 feet the other way, and then down about 8, 10 feet. And that became basically a big drainage field. With the 6-inch drain tile, there's a grid system going back and forth with a sock over it, so that the water will seep into that. So it basically is one giant filter there. It's all underneath, tucked away. You'd never know it's there, and keeps the water that much cleaner. We've encouraged some of our other neighbors to check into it. I think it'd be great if more people did it.